All right, boys and ladies, you got the NFL draft primer last night. Now today, we're going to go run a couple mock drafts. Brendan Albert and Mike Skolsky are both here. I'm Adrian Fedke. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a scenario where we stay at number 21. We're going to do a scenario where we trade up in the draft to take potentially one of those wide receivers. And then we're also going to do a scenario where we trade back in the first round. So 3 different scenarios, 3 different options. Let's fire up the mock draft machine. Let's go.
Let's do it. Let me go ahead and share my screen here, fellas.
Well, how you guys doing, by the way?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking.
It's the week of the draft. It's an exciting time. It's the closest thing we have to sports, so it's even more exciting than normal.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. And, they tried to do the mock draft with all the NFL GMs and I guess the test run. They had a glitch with the first pick. There was a problem. But then it seemed like after that, it was okay, according to Donna.
It'll be interesting to see also the presentation and, when teams are trying to do trades and getting that in time. I wonder if they'll be more flexible with the clock.
Yeah, that'll be interesting because
it's hard to imagine they won't be. I mean, honestly, it's the biggest sport conglomerate. They're going to have to be a little more flexible than normally they want to be because they want to put a good product out.
Right.
All right, let's start with the mock draft simulators. So let's fire this thing up. Let's do who we can pick here at pick number 21.
All right, so we're saying in this example here, folks, that we are staying. And the other thing that we're saying here is that we all agree that the receivers, the big 3 are going to be gone here. So perfect. In this situation, the big 3 are already gone. Okay, now we're the Philadelphia Eagles here, and we're looking at Justin Jefferson still on the board. So Skolsky, why don't you kind of, give me your 2 cents. Adrian, give me what you would pull the trigger on, and then I'll kind of can click it off and go from there.
So this is the perfect scenario where I would trade back, but for the sake of this exercise, you're not. But this is where the situation I talked about, the big 3 are gone. I like the next chunk of wide receivers. So this is where I'd be comfortable trading back. But for the sake of this exercise, the guys I'd probably be looking at right now, Justin Jefferson, be looking at the linebackers, Patrick Queen and Kenneth Murray. And I do normally like Gladney, but I see the Raiders already took him. So him and Ayuk. So I'll probably – I would maybe go. Let me see. This is what we got here. I'd maybe go. I think I might go Jefferson, just because I think he's have the safe target. I mean, if I like Ayuk, but I would maybe want to trade back. That'd probably be my trade back target. But if I'm staying at 21, I'm probably picking Jefferson or one of the linebackers.
This will be interesting if this scenario actually plays itself out because we're going to find out if they want Justin Jefferson or if they want Patrick Queen. Jefferson, I made this argument yesterday. If you draft him in the first round, you got to pair him with somebody on the outside. So, speed guy or whatever, I would try and trade back up into the first round to get that guy. So I think the pick here would be Justin Jefferson, although Patrick Queen could very likely be the pick as well. But for this exercise, we're going to go Jefferson.
Yep, and my 2 cents here, fellas, is I would actually go with either of the linebackers. I actually would go with Kenneth Murray. I like him more. And the biggest reason I would go linebacker here over Justin Jefferson is exactly what Skolsky talked about. A lot of depth at receiver, not as much depth at linebacker. But anywho, Adrian has voiced his opinion. We're going Justin Jefferson with our first-round pick.
All right. Well, I guess in a stay scenario, actually, you would take the linebacker. Now that I think about it. So
this is one of those things, Adrian. It just comes down to but again, the Eagles historically don't value the linebacker. Jordan Hicks is the highest drafted linebacker, and he was a 3rd rounder.
Yep. So here we go. All right. So 2nd round now. T. Higgins is on the board, wide receiver. You got Chenault, Pittman. Do you take one of those guys on the outside, or do you take that safety, Jeremy Chin, who's just sitting right there, just wants me to take him?
Yeah, I mean, right here, I mean, again, I like a couple of the wide receivers. We talked about getting the compliment to Justin Jefferson, the outside receiver. I mean, I know you guys aren't big on him, but I like Chenault a lot. But here, I would be definitely looking at, because I think there's a huge drop-off after him. I'd be looking at Jeremy Chin. That would be my pick. And then I'd maybe try to package the 3rd and 4th picks to maybe move up to get one of those other top wide receivers. But Jeremy Chin's my pick here.
This is a sprint to podium. Sprints the podium, in my opinion. Jeremy Chin. That's what I would do, Adrian, but you pull the trigger.
Well, I think it would be Chin too, because I think somebody would fall in the third round on the outside that you can get. So you would go get Jeremy Chin here. But Now I'm looking back. Like, if you're staying put at 21 and you're staying put at 53, I don't know if Justin Jefferson is going to be the pick. It might be Patrick Queen. So we'll go Chin here.
Did anyone think about Willie Gay here? Was that a conversation inside anyone's head from linebacker from Mississippi State?
I'm just such a big Logan Wilson fan. I think I love getting him in the third round if he's there. Like if he's there right now, he might be my guy. But he's definitely someone to consider. I mean, he's an athletic freak. He fits kind of perfectly what Schwartz wants. He's someone that can cover tight ends. He's someone that can cover slot receivers. So he's definitely under consideration. But again, it goes back to Eagles valuing linebackers and will they take one in the first 2 rounds? This might be the year we break it, but we'll see.
All right, so we have some options here in the third round at pick number 103. We have one of those guys on the outside by the name of Van Jefferson, kid out of Florida. KJ Hill would be somebody maybe you'd look at, but I think maybe you can get him a little later. If I had to choose right now, because we probably need that second wide receiver, I'm looking at Van Jefferson.
I'm maybe holding off on wide receiver. I would maybe try to get like DuVernay later on or one of the speed guys to kind of more complement, kind of a bigger home run threat. But I mean, I understand Van Jefferson a lot. Guys I'm looking at Sadiq Charles, very athletic lineman who's fell a little bit. He's probably better than a third round pick, but he was suspended for 6 games. But he fits that mold of what we're looking for, those very mobile, athletic linemen that, you get Stoutland developed. And then I also like Logan Wilson, who I just brought up. He's a very, he's someone that's, he's a nose for the football. He's all over. He's a cerebral player. He has amazing instincts, and I think he can probably start from day one. Emrick Robinson, I'm also a big fan of. He's someone that, if he's in the right scheme, which I think he would fit us, he's someone that is very aggressive and forces a lot of turnovers, something we didn't see a lot last year. But if I had to pick in this situation, I think I would go Logan Wilson just because I think there's a big drop-off in linebacker.
Ben Barch is there, too. He could be
Barch is also someone, St. John's.
Those are interesting. Let me take a quick gander here just to see. I know it might be a little bit of a reach here. Yeah, not – the guy I really liked here was the guy out of Washington, Nick Harris. He already went. He's an interior kind of swing guy, guard center athlete. He's already gone, as we can see here. Seattle took him just in front. So that would have been a guy I really would have liked here. So
Troy Dye also just went.
Yeah, Troy Dye is another one. So when we look at this here, fellas, let me tell you the names that's in my mind, Adrian, before you pull the trigger. I like Logan Wilson a lot. I think this is where we've really seen the big drop in receivers, though. This is around 100. I would guess probably around 100 in the real draft over the weekend. We'll see a big drop-off in receiver talent. So I would be okay with passing on Van Jefferson because I think he does all the same things that Justin Jefferson does, and I don't think we need to double dip. So to me, we don't need to have a family of the Jeffersons just yet. I would probably prioritize the Logan Wilson pick, but I would be very, very tempted also with Sadiq Charles, someone who maybe we can get him playing the inside a little bit, or Cam Akers here. Again, I love the idea of getting running backs to pair with each other, but to me, Adrian, if you force me to pick one, I would go Logan Wilson.
Okay, all right. So you convinced me on Logan Wilson. We'll go Logan Wilson. I don't know enough about Logan Wilson to give an opinion on. So
Skolsky, he's your boy. Go ahead.
I was about to say, Berg, you brought it home because I talked about him yesterday. I didn't know if you wanted to add more. I've been kind of high level on him, so I didn't know if you want to break down his game.
Yeah, Logan Wilson, really, really instinctive athlete. He's not exactly a downhill thumper, physical type of guy. I think he's still developing in that area, but he's very, very instinctive here. So he's one of those guys that I really like, especially because if he's not a great athlete, guess what? We got Jeremy Chin in the second round. So now we have the athlete to be able to do a lot of the things, and now we can get Logan Wilson to kind of continue to build. So we can put Chin on the outside at the will backer. We can put Logan Wilson on the inside. Our linebacker situation is fixed right there.
That's well said. I mean, you see a lot of athletic line, but just because they're, they time well and they run well does not necessarily make them a great coverage linebacker. They have to have the instincts to go along with it, have that processing speed. I mean, you remember Ernie Sims, who was a freak of an linebacker we've ever seen. But, his processing time, he couldn't diagnose plays quick enough, so he was just a liability. It didn't matter how quick he was because by the time he figured out what was going on, the slot receiver already burned him. So even though he's not the fastest guy, I mean, he's instinctive enough where he can make up for it because of how quickly he can break down plays.
All right, so we're in the fourth round now, and KJ Hill is still on the board, wide receiver out of Ohio State. We still got Devin Duvernay that we can take out of Texas. So the speed is still on the board here in the 4th round. So we didn't have to go Van Jefferson in the 3rd. So this is where I'm going wide receiver again. I'd probably go Duvernay over KJ Hill.
Yeah. I know Mooney's been moving up a lot of boards with his playmaking ability, but I like Duvernay a lot better. I mean, like we said, he's someone that, he gets the ball in his hands and he's tough to bring down. He's fast. He can stretch the field. If he was on a better offense, he might be talking about him, in the 2nd round potentially, because he's like a freak athlete. And I think he's someone that, where Jefferson's a very polished receiver, low floor. I think he's more of like a high ceiling. I mean, Jefferson's high floor. He's more of a lower floor, high ceiling guy. So I'm looking at Duvernay. And then I like Kenny Robinson a lot, the XFL guy, but since we got Jeremy Chin, I think it's an easy pick for me to take Duvernay.
Yeah, Duvernay, I think this is a good one. I think the only one other person I would like to put as a special consideration would be Gabe Davis out of UCF. He's big, 6'3", and he can move too, so he could definitely play on the line of scrimmage and does have the vertical speed. He's bigger than Devin Duvernay, but Devin Duvernay has an awesome low number of drop rate. So to me, Adrian, I would echo both of what you guys said, and I would go with the young man out of Texas.
How does he project on the outside, Bert? How do you think he pairs with Jefferson?
I think he's going to be a guy who's probably going to play more inside too. That is a knock. That is fair, Skolsky, because of his size as well. He played mostly in the slot. Both of these guys did not play a lot on the line of scrimmage, so the concern, of course, is going to be, can they beat press? I would feel far more confident that we can get Justin Jefferson to beat press because he's far more physical of a player than Devin Duvernay is. So if we're drafting Devin Duvernay and the Eagles draft him, they're also saying we feel very confident that we can put Justin Jefferson at the X receiver and get him online.
Yeah, he wouldn't be the pick then. Devin Duvernay wouldn't be the pick. Is KJ Hill outside then?
KJ Hill's also an inside guy. I think Gabe Davis would make sense on the outside.
The outside guy.
Okay.
I haven't watched KJ Hill. Like, I know who all the guys are, but out of the wide receivers I haven't watched, I haven't seen KJ Hill. I haven't seen Duvernay. So give me the guy with speed on the outside.
Okay, we'll go with Gabe Davis then.
All right, that's who we go with.
Getting these back-to-back picks here, fellas. I'm getting itchy. If I'm an Eagles fan, I'm starting to say, okay, we got to get some line help on either side of the ball. But that's just my personal opinion.
Well, I can definitely see A.J. Dillon as a pick with one of these picks. The inside, bell cow running back. And then a guard. I can see a guard here as well. Anthony
Jennings is also someone that's a little intriguing coming off the edge. I mean, he's someone that, was thought he was very well thought of a high school prospect. And he's kind of had injury issues at Alabama, but he once was thought, as a potential premier pass rushing prospect. But, it didn't all work out for him in college due to various things. But I saw, what's his name from Michigan, Wenyu, the guard. Scroll up.
Yeah, Michael Onwenu.
That would be one of my picks too.
I like AJ Dillon, like you said. I think that'd be great. I think he's a fantastic compliment to Miles Sanders. That's someone that he can be a great number 2, great committee running back. Someone that can offer something a little bit different than Miles Sanders' skill set. And then another thing to consider would be a quarterback here. If you look at Anthony Gordon from Washington State and Harrison Hand, the cornerback from Temple. But I think I would go Dillon and then the guard, Colin Wenu.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking too. I think that's
okay.
What I'll do.
I will 100% agree. Getting a guard here is a must at this point. I'm fine with going A.J. Dillon. I just want to give a guy a little bit of love here since he's in this situation. I'm a big James Lynch fan. I think as in a even front, him playing the 3-tech, he'd be a really good fit. He's an effort guy, and we know the Eagles love adding beef on the inside. But I do agree with everything you're saying here, fellas. A.J. Dillon, just to match up physically for Miles Sanders, save some tread on the tires, makes a lot of sense.
If James Lynch is there in the next round, that's the pick. And it looks like he got taken.
He did.
He did.
So I think it would be Anthony Jennings. Get an edge guy.
I would say either Jennings or Gordon.
I would go Gordon.
I
would go quarterback.
I think Gordon has he has a lot of upside. The other thing you could do right here is go Gandy Golden. If you want to go 3 wide receivers, just get that development. 5th round's where you start taking risks. I think 5th round's probably a good place for him. I mean, I don't know if they would take him. I don't know if they would take 3 wide receivers, but I mean, in the 5th round, if he's there, it's tough to say someone with his ceiling to get in the 5th round. That's very
If
rare.
if he's there and they have a chance to take him, I would take him, even if it means taking 3 wide receivers. Gordon, this would be interesting because they tried to take a quarterback last year. I think it was the 5th round too. Clayton Thorson didn't work out for them at all.
No.
So I don't know if they try and dip back into that, but I would agree that I'd like to try and get somebody in here to develop. I'd probably go Jennings, the edge, but man, Gandy Golden is enticing. And you know what? I changed my mind because I don't trust Gabe Davis enough on the outside. I want to get another receiver in here. So you know what? Gandy Golden's going to be the pick.
Another guy I like, I'm going Gandy Golden, but I like Derek Tusco a lot. I mean, he's someone I usually got a lot of times in the 6th round with the mocks, but he's been moving up the boards a lot. He was very productive at North Dakota State. He was a high motor, great size, ran very well at the combine. But, I mean, like I said, I think if you get someone with a ceiling of Gandy Golden in the 5th, I think that's a no-brainer. And with all the troubles we had at wide receiver, I don't think you get enough tickets and hope that you hit on multiple, if not hopefully – I mean one, but hopefully multiple.
Yeah, I agree. Iron sharpens iron. Not a huge J.J. Arcega-Whiteside fan. I think most of Philadelphia. So you go Gabe Davis, you get AGG, and you look at the 3 of them and you say, hey, one of you guys got to hit. Just figure it out. So I agree. I'll pull the trigger on this one. The only other one I want to give a little shine to here, Kyle Murphy, interior offensive line guy from Rhode Island. Really, really athletic. He's an FCS guy in the 5th round. If the Eagles hadn't gone offensive line, I think that would make a lot of sense there.
And Derek Tuska is off the board.
Just missed him.
Yeah. So I honestly I don't know where they'd go here at this point. We are in the 6th round now? Yep, round 6. This is where you could look at quarterback. What are quarterbacks left?
This gets really crappy here. Now we're in a bad situation.
Yeah. So maybe you.
I mean, Nate Staley, Cole McDonald. I mean, those are 2. Backup ceiling type guys, but
Cole McDonald's got great hair. That's my
sounds logical to pick him then.
And his name's Cole McDonald. I mean, the joke's right itself. I mean,
he's got a farm in Hawaii.
Let me see. I like Lamar Jackson on Nebraska. I think he has some potential outside cornerback. A lot of our corners right now.
Big corner too.
Yeah, a lot of our corners right now are all undersized. Even Darius Slay, he's not the biggest guy, so he's someone that could maybe be like the next Rasul Douglas type of role. Which when you're getting in the 6th round, I mean, like, oh, why would you? Those are the types of guys you're looking for. You're looking for more either development guys or special team guys. So I would look at Lamar Jackson. Great name, obviously. What else we got? Roquan Williams, solid interior defensive lineman. What do you think, Bert?
I keep sticking offensive line. So personally, for me, fellas, I would go Cameron Clark out of Charlotte, get another interior offensive lineman here. I just, in general, I'm one of those people. I don't think you ever can have enough really good offensive linemen. The thing is, we looked at the Colts, right? They ruined Andrew Luck because they went 7-on-7 offense. They didn't think about the interior of their offensive line. So, I know we have Carson. He's a guy who, right, wrong, or indifferent, has had some injuries in the past. Get me as many big bodies in front of him to protect him. So when in doubt, in a situation like this, I just say, give me an offensive lineman. Let's see if we can develop them.
Who would agree with that would be Howie Roseman, the Eagles. I mean, we're coming out of this draft with at least one offensive lineman. So,
yeah, you guys
I'm fine with whatever though.
Pick here. Look, my draft knowledge this year is lacking, so you guys go ahead and do it.
I'll side with Bert on this one.
Okay. We'll go with Cameron Clark. We'll just get another interior offensive lineman. So as this kind of runs through here, folks, guys, here's what we've got, kind of giving you a visual aid. Man, we really look in. We got 3 starters with our first 3 picks, which is an awesome situation here. And then you figure Gabe Davis, AGG, these are going to be guys who are going to be developmental guys. Yep. Same thing with Michael O. A.J. Dillon's going to be another guy who's just going to be a system. And I feel really happy with this.
Yeah, Dillon's he's not obviously not going to be a starter with Miles Sanders, but he's someone that's going to contribute from day one. So I mean, we got, like you said, 3 starters and then a rotational running back. That's not a bad haul. And then you have this developmental process with Gandy Golden. I mean, I think I'd be very happy with this draft. And I haven't been doing a lot of drafts with Justin Jefferson as my first pick, just because I usually trade back in that scenario. But this scenario, I'd be very happy with.
Does it give you a grade? Does it grade your picks?
No, this one does not.
How would you grade it? I think I'd give this one like an A minus.
Solid.
Yeah.
Very solid draft.
Yeah, I like that. I think it'd be an A minus A range, honestly, fellas. I'd be big fans of this. Now, I don't think Justin Jefferson's going to be there at 21. But
You don't think he's going to be there?
I don't think he'll be there at 21.
He's getting a lot of
I don't
hype.
think
He's getting a
Jeremy
lot of
Chin's
hype.
going to be there at 50. I think both of those guys are going to be gone. But
Where's
love-
Justin Jefferson going?
Jacksonville.
At 20.
Keith Lee gone.
Okay.
I think either Minnesota trades up or Jacksonville makes a move for him. With
Oh,
them
that
releasing
makes
Marcus
sense.
Lee, the week of the draft. That sounds a little
There's
fishy.
so much talk of Justin Jefferson going to the Eagles. I'll be shocked if it happens. I can't remember. Besides Carson Wentz, when it was the obvious pick, I can't remember the last time it was, this guy's going to the Eagles, and he actually went to the Eagles.
I don't think he'll be there at 21.
I don't
I'm going to put it that way. Could the Eagles get him? Yes, but I think he might be a guy you have to go up to like 18.
Well, they're not trading up to get Justin Jefferson.
I wouldn't put it past him.
I don't think they would do that. I think they would wait to 21 and they would trade back if he's not there.
All right, so we doing the is this trade up or trade back?
Let's go up.
Let's go up and let's do this real quick. So we'll do the trades real quickly since we already did the board. Our board's probably going to look the same.
You want to pause it at like you can do the trade now. I mean, I doubt. You just want to do the trade with the Niners?
Yeah.
Tap it on time. Oop.
There we go.
Well, we could do it with 12.
I guess we got to see what. Oh, I mean, at this point, we're just going to take whoever the
Either one, right? You guys be okay with either one of them, right?
Yeah.
So you call San Francisco. You say, hey, San Fran, you guys don't have any picks in the middle of day 2, right?
Yep. Let's try it.
Okay. I think that's a very realistic trade package too.
They're evaluating.
They would awesome.
Let's see what the Raiders do. Let's see what they make the pick for us or not.
Okay, they went CeeDee Lamb, so Jerry Judy's on the board.
Yeah,
no questions here, right, fellas?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, if you're telling me my top 3 of those 3 guys, I think I go Lamb first. But obviously, this one the pick's made for you. You take the best. I'm happy with any of those big 3, so we're going Jerry Judy right here.
Here's how I look at it. Ruggs is going to be the biggest play guy. Lamb will be the best run after the catch guy. Jerry Judy will be the guy who consistently can get open with his route running. So I'd be more than happy with Jerry Judy.
I saw an excellent comp for Jerry Judy, and that was Marvin Harrison. And that's obviously his ceiling because he's a Hall of Fame player, but that's the type of guy you're getting, just excellent route runner and someone that can just be a high-volume target and just one reliable target for Carson.
Yeah.
So here with all our 4th-round picks, I'd probably be looking to trade up, but I guess for the sake of this exercise, we'll stay put.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
With three fourth-rounders, I mean, you're talking about – that's where we have more flexibility. Is probably more in the middle rounds. But yeah, so let's see what we got once we get to
103.
103, yeah.
So we'll see who's left. Yeah, I would agree. They would definitely try and trade up back, maybe even back into the 2nd round. Wouldn't surprise me.
All righty.
So here we are. Yeah.
So similar to last time, I mean, since we got one of the big 3, I'm not as worried about spending another high pick. Like, I do want another wide receiver, but I'm not as worried about we have to get one right now. So this is where I'm leaning more Sadiq Charles because he has that ability to play inside. And he has that athletic ability to play outside just in case, for whatever reason it doesn't work out with Dillard or we need we're not happy enough with Mailata for an outside guy. So I'm leaning. I think I would go Sadiq Charles here.
Yeah, you don't need to go wide receiver again because Judy is a stud. He's your guy on the outside. You really don't have to worry about it too much again. So Sadiq Charles, I like the pick here would be him.
And then for a reminder for everyone, last time we got Logan Wilson here, and Logan Wilson in this scenario went 95. So he's probably going to be in this kind of ballpark here. I'd be fine with that. I would push more towards Nick Harris. The only reason I would push more towards Nick Harris is he's a guy who's played center and guard, 2 positions that he could start at guard right away. He could slide to center in the future. Sadiq Charles is a guy who played more of his career at tackle, and then he moved into guard. So I personally would prefer Nick Harris because he has a larger body of work at the interior position than Sadiq Charles. He played at Washington, so it's not like it's a small program here. But if you guys want to swing for the fences, I would agree that Sadiq Charles has a higher ceiling than Nick Harris. Nick Harris is probably the higher floor.
Yeah, I think it also is what's their comfortability of a Sam Alu playing center just in case Kelsey does retire. I mean, if you're happy with him moving to center and you can move Charles to the inside, then I like that. But if you're saying, oh, Sam Alu, I don't like him as more than like a spot starter at center, then I could see definitely valuing someone that has that ability to play center. But I think in this scenario, I'll probably go for Steak.
I think with Jeff Stoutland as the offensive line coach, they're always going to go with the high ceiling guys.
Okay.
Over the floors. So, Charles.
Athleticism, yeah.
Yep. All right. Let's see who we got here in the fourth round as we.
127.
All right. So we got this pick, and then we got back to back. All right. So you can go KJ Hill here potentially if you want. Let's see.
See, I just see that big block of wide receivers, and I'm pretty confident at least one of them will be that 145. So I'm looking at Kenny Robinson right now, who's a potential playmaker for safety. He was a great safety for West Virginia, probably would have been a pretty high draft pick. I think it was kind of like some cheating scandal, I believe, is what got him kicked off the team, and then he was one of the best defensive players in the XFL. I mean, obviously, it's some former pro players and like very good former collegiate players. So I think I would go Kenny Robinson here.
I'd probably go wide receiver because you went one in the first round. Try to get another one within the first four. I mean, I guess you could wait for 145 or 146 here, so you could do that as well.
Another guy who I know Bert might push for is I like John Simpson a lot, interior offensive lineman.
Nasty dude, big physical guy. I think, fellas, for me, I would actually agree with Skolsky. I would go with Kenny Robinson because we're starting to see the big cliff coming here with safeties. I'd pull the trigger here, and then I would hope we can get a receiver at 145 or 146, and then we kind of can use that other position, the other draft spot for a linebacker. But that's my opinion. Adrian, you pulled the trigger.
Well, I really shouldn't be pulling the trigger for any of these picks. I told you guys before the show, I have not been watching this draft class.
Okay. How about this? Did we sell you on Kenny Robinson? He's a playmaking safety.
It's going to have to be Kenny Robinson because you're right about the receivers. They pick again at 145, so you can go get
in Mooney, Bowden.
So see, this sucks this year, man. I don't know any of the positions or anything this year. I'm done. I'm quarantined in depression.
We will carry you in this show then. That's okay. So
I can go like 3 rounds this year. I can't go past 3 rounds.
So to me, this is a no-brainer. We have to get a linebacker. Marcus Bailey out of Purdue. He was a very productive guy at Purdue. He just has some injury history. But guess what, folks? You get into the 4th round, everyone has a question mark on him. You're not getting a surefire thing this late in the draft. So to me, as a quick recap here, this is what we have. We have a killer at receiver. We have a developmental interior guard. We have a guy who didn't play college last year, played in the XFL at safety. So we already have 2 guys who are a little bit of developmentals. So to me, I say, hey, let's just keep leaning into it. And let's go linebacker here and get Marcus Bailey out of Purdue because we haven't addressed linebacker yet.
I also like Davion Taylor, but he's probably even rawer than that. He's probably even more of a question mark.
Yeah.
But we have back-to-back picks right here. So when we talked about last time where Justin Jefferson might be regulated to the slot, the thing about Judy is he can play wherever. And he'll be great wherever you put him. So I think Duvernay is an easy pick here where we shied away before because we didn't want 2 primarily slot guys. Here we're just getting home run threat. I think Duvernay's the pick, and then I'm okay with Marcus Bailey with the other one.
Adrian, you sign off on our checks?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Bailey, is he more coverage or is he more run defense?
He's going to be a little more of a run defender at this point.
Okay. All right. Because I think they would target more coverage, but the pick is fine. You're in the 4th round. You get what you get at this point.
Yep. And that's a bummer. We just missed A.J. Dillon here by 2 picks.
Yeah, that's okay. We got James Lynch, though. We can take him if we want. Running back, who else would be on the board?
Joshua Kelly's a pretty thick guy from UCLA, so that's good. Keyshawn Vaughn is a guy who had much higher draft buzz coming into the season, and him and the rest of Vanderbilt completely fell off a cliff. So he's another one I think is in the mix here. Those would be 2 guys I would consider pretty heavily. Man, I'm okay still with, hey, if we want to go 3 receivers, I'd be okay with AGG here at 168. I mean, you get AGG size, you get Devin Duvernay's speed, you get Jerry Jeudy's route running. That's really freaking tempting for me.
That could, yeah.
I mean, I love AGG, so I would not be opposed.
My only hesitance is just because now we have less picks as you're coming out with almost one position. But I do love me some AGG, so I wouldn't be against that either. Who else we got here?
Well, we'd only have one more pick after this, so I don't think
Correct.
AGG would not be the pick here. Uh,
He's someone I'm crossing my fingers. Maybe makes it.
See, I don't know
Pick
enough
6.
about the cornerbacks this late to give you a cornerback.
Oh, let's take a gander here.
Let's see. We got.
This is all Brendan right here.
No, we're starting to get into.
These guys, I'm happy with the 6th.
I like Kareem Curl from Arkansas. He's a big, lanky guy. To me personally, fellas, I think you can get him at 190. So I wouldn't go corner here for that reason.
Let's check interior offensive lineman.
Yeah, we can do that, Skolsky.
I say we have James Lynch.
Well, James Lynch is right there.
Mm-hmm. We went Cameron Clark last time. For what it's worth, that was the interior guy we went last time.
Yeah, because James Lynch went. So
let me look at our current picks so far.
What do you think?
I think Lynch would fit well where we have going right now.
Okay.
I think he is a guy who can play inside and outside. I think he would fit.
He's the all-time leading sack record at Baylor, which look, it's it's a Big 12 program. It's a historic program. It's pretty damn good.
Yep. All right, so now at 190, this is our last pick in the mock. So we can go cornerback here.
Swing the bat. Go Andy Golden.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Yes.
Because to me, fellas, like his upside here is so much higher than anything. So this is a sprint to the podium.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that other people like him just as much as we do, which is why he's probably going to go earlier than we think.
Well, like you said, you brought up Alex Kappa, who we all thought was awesome. His tape was hilarious to watch. He just threw people around like rag dolls. And we were talking about, he'd be a great 4th, 5th round pick. Got picked in the 2nd. I mean, we're fawning over him. The scouts. We're not seeing anything that they haven't seen. So
yeah.
I think I could see him going as high as maybe the 4th. Wouldn't even shock me to see it end like the 3rd, just because how
it wouldn't shock me in the 3rd either. I mean, I put that in my gamble yesterday for a 3rd rounder, Antonio Gandy Golden. If you're really, really high on him and you really, really want him, the 3rd round would be where you could get him, and you wouldn't have to worry about anyone else taking him.
Yeah, that's exactly right, fellas. I think everything we looked at here, the most unrealistic in this scenario was AGG at 190. I don't think Devin Duvay is going to be at 146, but
probably not.
To me, fellas, I don't think either of those guys are there.
Draft?
Yeah. All right. So let's do real quickly a trade back scenario.
What would you give that draft that we just had? How happy would you be with that?
I think our first draft was better than that one.
I do like Judy, obviously.
Yeah.
That was better at the top, where the other one we had 3 impact starters. That one we had 1 immediate impact, and the rest were kind of developmental guys. Some very high ceiling guys we got. Not as safe, not as impactful year 1. Besides, obviously, Jerry Judy's a huge impact. But quantity-wise, not as many day 1 impacts. But some high ceiling guys. I would still be happy with it.
All right. So let's see this scenario here. We don't even have Justin Jefferson.
Jefferson went 15.
Yeah, he's gone. So this is perfect because this is a perfect trade back scenario.
Yeah, you don't even think twice about your trade back. So teams, let's see. Jordan Love's there. So furthest I'd maybe think about going back is maybe like the 34 to the Colts.
Yep.
If there's someone you really like that's still there, guys, then I would be okay not trading back as far. But I'm happy with a chunk of guys coming up. So I wouldn't mind trying to get an extra 3rd or something like an early 3rd from the Colts if that's possible. What do you guys think?
In this situation, as I'm kind of looking at the board here, fellas, I'm looking at, okay, what do we have available that we like? Hey, we like the linebackers, right? We can agree on that. We like the big 2 linebackers here as potential guys. I look at the rest of them. I'm like, man, I'm not a big Denzel Mims guy. To me, I think this is a situation where you call Baltimore and you say, hey, do you want to come up and get your pick of which linebacker you want? You move back 7 picks. I think it's realistic. Baltimore takes 1. And as long as New Orleans doesn't take a linebacker at 24 or Seattle at 27, I think Philadelphia could get the other one of the 2 linebackers at 28.
And honestly, if one of them do take the other linebacker, I'd trade back again. There's no rule that you can only trade back once.
Between 21 and 28, who would take a wide receiver, you would think? Probably Minnesota.
Minnesota will take 1.
Yeah.
I say that with confidence. Miami, let's look what they've done so far. They've got Justin Herbert at 18.
They may take a tackle.
Well, they took a tackle at 5. So I would say what Miami would likely do, I would say Miami would go with one of the running backs, and I think they would go, let's say they go Swift. So you're really just saying, hey, we're going to lose at least one receiver to Minnesota between now and 28, and I think we'll lose one linebacker between now and 28. So to me, 28 is a great landing spot. Or if you wanted to go further back, you could go back to Green Bay, and Green Bay could take a receiver. No, I'm not really sure what Tennessee does. Tennessee could be a bit of a risk. I think 28 is a safer trade back situation, though.
Let's do 28.
Let's do 28. Like I said, we could always trade back again if we need to. Hopefully, we're not messing with this too many times. Because sometimes like it'll be a fair trade. You have to click it like 3 times, like submit it like multiple times. So what do you think of like I mean, this is what 8 spots or 7 spots of like a first and a third potentially.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get 106. 8 spots and 106. Nope, no dice. Okay.
We'll try it again. Like I said, sometimes I need to do. I usually give it 3 tries.
No, I don't want to do the trade.
And what we also could do is you could also swap.
Well, you could try
pick
another
swap.
team.
Well,
Can't you?
Let's
keep
see.
it for this.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we throw in 168?
What if you do 168, then add Ravens 7th?
Okay. Done.
So we move back from the 6th to the 7th,
Mm-hmm.
but we gain a 3rd round pick. I think that's fair.
So we lost 2 interior offensive linemen, which is fine. Both the linebackers are still on the board, though, fellas.
Look at that. The Ravens actually went Ruiz. That's interesting. That was some guy I was actually thinking if both linebackers were gone.
All right. Is Brandon Ayuk still on the board too?
He's still on the board. So this could be a situation where you call Indianapolis now. Jordan Love did go. Bummer.
Patriots.
Yep. Okay.
This would be.
I'd probably trade back again.
All right. Well, let's think about this. How many guys do we like on the board here? We like the 2 linebackers, so that's 2 spots, right?
Well, you know me. I'm a Jalen Reagor guy. So
Jalen
like
Reagor,
Reagor.
that's 3.
I like Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk would go here.
Yep. Ayuk is 4. All right. So we have 4 spots so far, fellas, that we said we would like.
And then we have both linebackers, which we said. I like Winfield.
So do I. It's 5. All right. So
I'd even be fine with Chin.
I was thinking that too. So we have 6 guys. So that means I did my math here, fellas. We could say worst case scenario, we could get to 34.
And that's assuming they take all those 6 guys.
Correct. Which they probably won't. So maybe we go 35 to give a little more flexibility.
Yeah. Now the question is, would these teams want to trade up? And that's not something we know the answer to. But if
the Colts don't have a 1st round pick, so they're worried about getting that 5th year with someone they really like.
So let's see.
Well, that's why if Jordan Love is there, that would be huge. So Colts, what do they have after? Okay, so we can see it right there. They have 2 seconds, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 2, 6. Yeah, they may want to try and trade up in the 1st round.
What if we go for their 3rd, then we give them our last 4th just to move up that many spots?
I'd be okay with that. Even if it was 127, I'd be okay with that too, Skolsky. Let's try 127. I think that's still going to be a little rich. Yeah.
Try one more time. Here's what we could try either, just going for a 4th, or we could try throwing in a 6th, whatever you guys.
Or just
throw in that 7.
Honestly, I would even do 106 to 75. That's because we literally have the last pick. I think in the 3rd. I think it's the last pick in the 3rd.
75.
Yep. That's still a big chunk of picks, though. You're talking about. All right. I'm pretty surprised that didn't work.
There we go.
Yeah, that's how you know it was a good trade. You
need a little sweetener. Oh, there goes Jalen Reagor. There goes Brandon Ayuk.
Okay. Both linebackers are still there, so I'm probably good.
I'd probably go Patrick Queen here.
I'm so between the linebackers. I'd be fine with either. So I was kind of hoping the decision will be made for us. But Kenneth Murray, I kind of leave Kenneth Murray, but I'd be completely okay with either. I'll delegate to you guys on this one.
Well, I just, for the scheme fit, it seems like Queen would be the better fit because of his pass coverage ability.
Okay.
All right, let's do Queen then.
So, and then
Here we're hoping
right after
wide
that.
receiver.
Yeah, now receiver's a no-brainer for us.
Yeah, we need to take a receiver. All right, so we got Michael Pittman. There's I'd probably go T. Higgins here.
I would agree of this grouping here. T. Higgins is the guy I think would be best to stretch the field vertically. So Higgins would be the guy I would most prefer of this group.
Yeah.
You know who I would take?
I know you would.
But
I'm glad that
I'll be fine. I'll be fine with T. Higgins. I mean, I just see Chenault. I just see him as.
Well, I have Chenault higher than Higgins on my board, so we can go Chenault if you want.
I'm okay with. I like Pittman a lot too. I mean, I'll be okay with any of those three guys.
Yeah.
So
what Higgins? I don't think Higgins would be here at 53, but we'll see.
Can you hit trade real quick? I just want to see what our picks situation is after all of those moves we just made. So our next pick is 75. We might be able to get two of these guys.
Yeah. Let's see what else is out there. No, we want to get one.
No, I want to get.
We want to get one now.
I say Higgins. I'm okay with Higgins. Higgins has number one wide receiver potential. He can play on the outside, day one starter, all that fun stuff.
Go T. Higgins. And then we'll probably go again. We'll probably go receiver again, dip into it again.
If Chenault's there, I would be very happy with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All right. Do we want to make a move?
All right. What do you guys think? I mean, I don't.
I would try and go up. Yes, to go get Chenault.
Because that gives you the home run threat. You know, we've had Deshaun Jackson, but obviously you can't count on him to play all 16 games. Chenault, you're going to have to use him essentially as a gadget player his first year, but I think his ceiling is as high as any wide receivers, but his floor is exceptionally low. But in the third round, I think it's a no-brainer.
All right, so we just got our guys. We got two wide receivers, two really good players that you can potentially build around at the position.
So let's see. You do our current picks. So we got Queen, Higgins. I love that. I love this first three.
I'm still not a Chenault guy. I just see his biggest issue is tracking the ball vertically. So he can run like the wind, but if he can't catch it, so I'm not a Chenault guy. But I understand you're gonna get overruled sometimes.
I will say that I'm not as high on Chenault and Higgins as other people, but to get those guys at those picks, I think it's a luxury or a good thing.
Sure.
So, all right, pick 103 now. All right, so we can hit lineman if you want.
When's our next pick after this?
127.
Not too big of a jump.
So maybe let's think this. What positions do we want to get? I agree in offensive line. I agree with interior offensive line.
We went Sadiq last time. Let's maybe mix it up a little bit this time.
Okay.
All right, you make the pick, Skolsky.
I didn't do too much on Damian Lewis. What do you have on him, Bert?
Damian Lewis, another interior offensive line guy, more of a guard here from center. Cushenberry was another one of those guys. My biggest knock I have on LSU is even though LSU, was as good as they were, Joe Burrow got hit a lot, which is kind of odd. And all those offensive linemen all graduated. I think they were a team that they got by more on the fact that they had awesome continuity and awesome, team chemistry than actual individual skill. That's my biggest knock I have on the LSU guys outside of Cushenberry. Personally, I still like Nick Harris here because, again, I can plug him in as an athletic guard and then move him to center because he has experience in a Power 5 conference. So, to me, that's why I would still take him here.
All right, I'm not going to make you strike out on Nick Harris. Let's do it.
Thank you.
Pass on him.
Yeah, we'll switch it up for this one. So we'll pick somebody else. All right. So now we're at 127. I think that's our next pick.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see who's out there.
So the big thing we haven't capped is last time this was a safety here. Well,
Kenny
with Mr. Robinson. Yep.
We didn't just go interior offense line. I like John Simpson. We didn't go Chanel. I like Duvernay, kind of guys we went with before. Here, I'm either saying if you want to go edge rusher, I guess you could go Alton Robinson. He's probably more of a rotational guy. But I'd probably go Kenny Robinson again. Another guy I maybe considers Reggie Robinson the second. Another big corner who can play the outside. But I like Kenny Robinson's upside. I think he might have been an even higher pick if not for the academic scandal. So as long as everything checks out and you're happy with his character, I'd take Kenny Robinson here.
I'd agree.
I'm okay with that. So I'm looking here. It looks like A.J. Dillon's off the board. This has been our pick here in the fourth round. and so is the kid from Utah. What's his name? Zach Moss. So those
I do like
two
Zach
guys
Moss,
are
but
on. Yeah, I'm cool with the kid from West Virginia.
we have already went pretty heavy offensive right now, so I think defense
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense there. When's our next pick now? We'll throw
146.
6. All right, so we can go edge, running back. We could maybe.
Looking at
I mean,
Robinson.
AJ Dillon is
Strowbridge,
still on the board. Never mind.
Dillon.
Well, we could do something else since we've done AJ Dillon.
James Lynch is there.
Anthony Gordon, if you want to take your quarterback.
But how many more picks we got?
2 more.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do quarterback here.
All right, we can do Anthony Gordon for this one since it's a different mock.
I'd be okay with Anthony Gordon. I'd be okay with AJ Dillon.
Let's see. So Queen day 1 starter, Higgins day 1, Chenault maybe not day 1 starter, but day 1 impact. Kenny Robinson potentially. Nick Harris is gonna be a depth guy. I'd be okay with quarterback. I'd also be okay with Dillon, or you want to get a rotational defensive end. Depends how comfortable you are with Josh Sweat's development. But I'd be happy with any of those guys. I'll let you guys decide on that.
I mean, we'll do quarterback here just for shits and giggles. If it were me, I'd take the running back. I would wait on quarterback.
Oh, Anthony Gordon's gone. Never mind.
Okay, well then let's go AJ Dillon then. And keep it simple. And we got one more pick in the 6th.
Yep. 190.
Yeah, and we're just gonna pick somebody random.
Or hope that Gandy Golden's still there.
Yeah.
Our go-to late round.
Our go-to number 6, our go-to 6th round guy, or John Hightower.
It's gonna be close, fellas.
EGG's gonna be there.
Yeah. He's gonna get picked before
there.
Got him.
Boom.
Wow. This is so unrealistic.
But I do like John Hightower. I want to talk about Adrian's guy. Adrian talked about him as a sleeper, as a guy who can fly out of Boise. He's another one of those sleeper guys I would like.
All right, so there we go.
There's a draft.
All right, so out of the situations, which one did you guys like best?
Honestly, probably the first one. I like the first one how we went, but this one's a good one too.
I'd actually be happy with all 3, but surprisingly, because I said I'd trade back, trade up, I don't expect them to stay still. I think I would also go with the first one. I think the first one, we pretty much knocked it out of the park with that one. We got Jeremy Chin, someone I'd also be okay with in the first round. But all these I'd be very happy with. So I mean, Philadelphia Eagles, if you're hiring and you want to bring us into your Microsoft Teams meeting on Thursday, you're more than welcome to. We just gave 3 examples. I think all these are at least a B plus or B.
Yeah, I will say I mean, like all these mocks sometimes I think are a little bit unrealistic. Like
especially this year.
For all the players that we wanted for them all to be there, like I just don't think that's going to actually happen. But this is a great exercise, and that we did, and it's a great precursor of what could be happening on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the whole week.
What's really interesting, fellas, and I want to kind of ask this before we all hop off here. Do we not think corner is a need for the Eagles, or do we just think the draft is not going to fall favorably for the corners to go to the Eagles?
I guess
we never took a corner.
Didn't we take corner in the first one? No, we never took a corner. Well, then we're definitely taking a corner with one of the picks.
I like corner when we do the trade back scenario, but that just didn't happen.
We never took a corner.
But the way it fell in our trade back scenario just
we are terrible GMs.
I mean, we decided on safety, I think, a few times over it.
Yeah, we took safety over corner.
I think it's more of the fact of where the draft works. I don't think that there's going to be I think we're going to see a run on corners in the mid-first to end of first, and then it's a big drop-off in corner depth. So I think it's frankly more of a, hey, this is just the way the draft worked than necessarily we're prioritizing it. But I think it is something that's interesting to at least acknowledge. To me, fellas, there's no doubt this is my favorite, the stick and pick. But again, I don't think Justin Jefferson's at 21. I don't think Jeremy Chin's at 53. I definitely don't think AGG is at 168. But I mean, from that situation, man, it's a lot of starters there. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I think that's probably
I'll tell you what, if Justin Jefferson isn't there at 21, I think a trade back scenario is going to start looking very realistic.
Agree, 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So that concludes this show. We got it in under an hour. Thank God. So Skolsky couldn't go and tend his baby now. So we did all that. Anything else we want to say before we depart? Well, that was a nasty crack, Brendan.
That was a good one, wasn't that?
Was that your neck?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I just felt an earthquake here in Philadelphia.
Too many games without a helmet on, I guess.
Mock drafts are already super, it's super hard to do. Even the best people are very far off. So this year it's going to be even more dramatic, I think. Like what we just saw, all three of those scenarios is not going to be anywhere close to any of those three. We're going to see some huge surprises starting with even in the first round. You're going to see people like, oh, that guy was going in the third, fourth round in mocks. He's going in late first now. So it's going to be a weird draft, but that's what's going to make it exciting,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure everyone, when Goodell starts streaming from his basement, everyone starts booing him. Just
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up, Skolsky, because Budweiser has a great thing going in that they are asking people to record themselves booing Goodell
really?
when he is on, and they're asking to do that, and in return, they're going to donate $1 to the NFL Draftathon to help out with the fight for the coronavirus. So very cool for Budweiser for doing that and keeping the tradition alive of booing the commissioner.
By the way, the NFL totally stole our idea, Brendan. Stole our idea with the mock drafts and the donation to the.
Yes, they did. 100%.
They took it from us.
All right, guys.
Yeah, Mike Skolsky, Brendan Albert. I am Adrian Fetchu. We're out of here. Peace.
Appreciate it.